This is the Amp Hour Podcast, Episode 19, CAD Programs, System Design, and Renewable Energy. This episode was recorded November 29, 2010.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble from Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good, Dave. What do you think of the new music?
Oh, it's awesome, isn't it? I love it.
All
It's
right.
it starts out really cool. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the middle bit there, but I think it sort of gets a bit lackluster in the middle there, but it's good beginning, good end.
Yeah.
That's what you need, as they say, in an act, you know.
That's right.
Isn't it? You
who
need
needs
a good
middle?
stage act or a good comedy act. You need a good in-show and ending. What's in the middle doesn't count all that much. But it's good. Who sent that one in?
So actually, this is the first time Dave found out. That was actually me.
Right. That was you.
When I sent it to Dave,
There you go.
when I sent it to Dave last night, I said someone sent it in because I was
Yes, you did.
afraid of criticism. But
Right.
sounds like you liked it enough. So that is a Chris Gamble original right there.
Excellent. Well done.
All right. So that means I can also modify it too if we need to. So.
Oh, awesome.
So if people out there
Fantastic.
listening don't like it, just let us know. It's okay. You could tell me. I didn't want criticism from Dave, but I can take it
Right.
from listeners because I can just delete your comments if I need to.
That's right. Isn't
Yeah.
having a blog great?
No,
it's
yeah,
not a
that's
democracy,
awesome. Oh,
people.
no,
we
it's-
can hit delete anytime
It is
we
a-
want.
yeah.
There is no free speech on the Amp Hour.
Yeah.
That's actually a funny thing that people don't actually realise. They get all upset if I delete their comment or,
Mm-hmm.
I don't respond to them or something like that. Sorry, pal, but it's, it's not a democracy. If you want to have your own say, then, start your own blog.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
I mean,
love it.
some people are. You kind of need it sometimes too with blogs because some people are just meh. Some people aren't very nice, but all our listeners
Well,
always seem to be very nice.
Yeah.
Although
Try the comments on YouTube.
Oh, hell no. I don't touch that.
Oh, YouTube has got some of the,
yeah, they're nasty.
some of the wackiest people out there commenting.
You know, I try and avoid those. I just feel depressed every time I read those. I'm like,
right.
I don't know what it is about YouTube, but it's just like people just spew hatred on there. So whatever.
I know, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not just it's not just my blog. Every single video blogger I know on YouTube says the same thing. I have to delete half my comments. They're just either stupid, idiotic, or hateful, or anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Oh well. So let's
All
just
right.
shout-outs like usual.
yes, do it.
So first up is Rich Hoeg from the Northstar Nerd. His site also goes by eContent. I think he's had a site for a while. He switched over to the northstarnerd.com a while back, but he just found our podcast and he put up the logo, and we always like when people do that. So thanks to Rich for doing
Absolutely.
that. And actually,
Thank you very much.
he has a list of other podcasts too, which I still haven't had a chance to look at. But there's a lot of other science podcasts and such too. So definitely worth checking out. We'll post a link to that.
Yep.
A link back to us.
Right. Geez, people will be falling over themselves to check that one out.
I know, right?
Exactly. Oh, dear. Who else we got?
So the other one was kind of like the 555 timer, or 555, or 555, or however people say it. Remember how I gave a shout out to an inanimate object a couple weeks back?
Yes.
But this
555.
this one's to Google Sketchup. I love the program. I think it's awesome. And just recently I saw on Dustin Robot's Twitter page about a new challenge that came out, a new
Right.
design contest challenge. So basically, if people use Google SketchUp and Ponoko, which is I believe a mechanical manufacturing like quick turn shop,
All right, yeah.
and you use those two tools and you make a video on how to use those together and how to import a Google SketchUp design to Ponoko, then you can win like a Google SketchUp Pro license, which gives you lots more capabilities. And then
Right.
also you get like a year's membership, I think, to Ponoko, which is
Oh, but
awesome.
where's the cash, dude? Where's the cash? Everyone wants cash.
Oh, that's as good. I don't know. You can make stuff with that. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried Ponoko, but I've heard about it, and it always seems so cool. So,
right. Yeah, I've used who are they? E-Machine Shop before, but they actually have their own software, which is incredibly easy to use.
That's good.
Yeah, even a dummy like me got a 3D box up with holes in it and nice curved corners and everything in 5 minutes of using the thing. It's very, very intuitive. So
yeah, and that's with the E-Machine Shop, you said, software?
Yep. That's they've got their own software, so that's the downside of it, is that you have to use their software if you want to use their service.
Yeah.
So, but their software is really good.
Yeah.
Google Sketchup, I tried that when it first came out. I think it was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah,
it's been out for a long time, and it was kind of novel, but I haven't tried it since. But I'm looking for one that outputs the mechanical file in a format called Step, which can be imported into Altium Designer and other packages.
Yeah.
So if Google SketchUp has added Step output capability, then I'm going to be all for it.
Yeah, I play with SketchUp a lot just because it was free, but then the Pro license has a lot more of the professional output files. So,
right.
So I think that's kind of where the catch is. But it's like $600, which isn't bad for a. I mean, it's not
for a CAD package.
It's not pro. It's not like what are the other ones out there, like Pro E and SolidWorks and all those other ones. It's not quite like that, but it's still. I mean, it's still pretty strong. I mean, I've showed it to mechanical engineers that I know, and they haven't been the biggest fans of it. But I mean, for electronics dum like me, and if I need to just show a concept, and I've done this before. I just draw up a circuit board. You can even like overlay just like JPEGs, and it's great for just showing people and having that fast iteration tool is what's really important to me. I mean,
absolutely.
It's probably not likely that I'm going to go out and like at the point where I say I need an enclosure, if it has to be custom, I better be willing to spend a lot more money than Google SketchUp costs. So
exactly,
because regardless of what it is, it's going to be expensive. I don't think there's any debate about that.
Well, the interesting thing there is that you touched on the point that getting that example, getting an example that you can put towards a customer or even your boss or an internal, thing, that is highly underrated. Just the power of a 3D image of a board or something like that. That's why a lot of the CAD packages, or virtually all of them, are going towards 3D now.
Yeah.
So that you can just hit the 3D button and bang, up comes the fully modeled image of your board. And when people see that, when managers see that, customers see that, they just go apeshit and think that this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And look, it's practically finished, and it's just fake. It's just But
ship it.
They really. They really get sucked into that sort of stuff, and they love it. And a 3D image tells 1,000 words, really. So
it's really good for that jumping off point where it's like, well, it's kind of like what we talked about, I think last week, where if I'm talking about one thing, if I say, this is going to have an antenna, and then you hear an antenna, and you think it's going to be some 6-foot thing, and so you start, designing this in your mind to see some 6-foot antenna, and I was talking about an internal antenna the whole time.
Yep.
Then 2 months later when you come back, you're like, I designed all this stuff that the 6-foot antenna would need, and then we have to start over. If you have that at the beginning, then you're so much better off. So
absolutely.
That's what I like about that kind of 3D, wherever it's coming from. I think it's great just to have a visualization is very important and answers a lot of questions. So I like it a lot.
For sure. And I think the industry is moving towards these tools getting easier and easier to use. As you said, for idiots like us,
right.
us electronics guys, the one engineer will be able to do the whole thing. They'll be able to do the 3D mechanical stuff, the modeling, whereas traditionally you've had to hire some 3D mechanical expert full time or contract service to get them to design your custom case that's only got 2 holes in it. But now the tools are getting easier. You can actually, you can potentially learn and do this stuff yourself. So the one-man band in his garage can actually produce a world-class looking product.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. And then with the 3D printers, the MakerBots and everything, you can make your own prototype, do everything in-house.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And there was actually a story on NPR today about MakerBot again. I saw, remember the NPR one I mentioned last week?
Yep.
There was another one on, I'll link to that too. There was another MakerBot story, and they were talking about how MakerBot started out of hackerspaces. So
yeah,
I thought that was
and
cool.
they've got a new store now. They opened a retail store or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Bot Cave.
Yeah, the Bot Cave. Great name.
Yeah.
The Bot Cave. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, getting back to the system level design. I mean, it's interesting because you have another thing on here about LabVIEW, but that's kind of like the trend where you have, the person that's doing a very high level design. You have a system designer now instead of an electronics designer, a mechanical designer. And I think LabVIEW and like MATLAB and all those like math packages, those are like the ultimate extreme of system level design, because basically now you're just doing equations and then you click a couple buttons and out pops the FPGA design. You outsource your board design. You push you have a simple 3D mechanical design, and technically you're done. Obviously there's a lot of optimization to do, but it's crazy that there's that much, like, what's it called?
Capability?
Abstraction. That's the word.
Abstraction. Yes, the higher level abstraction.
Yeah.
So one person can really do everything. It's quite amazing, and you're expected to do a lot these days.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I guess. So, I think gone are the days when companies really, have like just an individual PCB layout guy, and they have just, they have just a component sourcing guy, and they have just a 3D CAD guy, and they have just this guy and just that guy, the test guy, and the... granted, for big projects, you still need multiple people to do those sort of things, but... Yeah, you can match anyone. Do it yourself.
It almost points to... It's a question now of, like, do you become... So say you're a person coming out of school. Do you become a generalist where you do try to learn how to do everything, maybe not as well? Or do you dive in, hope to become, the world best PCB designer, and then that's what you do, and then there's a much smaller set of jobs that are available now? Because, I mean, PCB design, you know about that. I mean, it gets very intricate.
Absolutely.
But... There's some places that need very intricate, but maybe those jobs are shrinking.
Well, that's the age-old question. It hasn't changed in 30 or 40 years too much. There's always going to be a niche job out there. If you want to go niche, there will always be a niche job. Don't worry about it. I guess it just depends what you want to do. Really. I mean, if you just want to be the world's best PCB designer, go for it. You will find a job out there, definitely. I'm saying that, one person can do everything these days, and that's what they're looking for. But they're only looking for that because, to save cost and stuff like that. But big companies, big projects. Yeah. And I'm more talking about, the one-man band being able to do everything, not necessarily the big corporations. If you're working on a $10 million product, they're not going to have just one person doing the whole thing.
Well, if they are, they better get paid. They better get paid a lot for that then, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of favor the generalist stuff. I think. I mean, I like specializing, but it's just gets boring. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I consider myself a generalist, pretty much, in a fair few areas. I mean, I have specialised. I've been a full-time PCB guy, as you said, and it's okay, but I prefer being a generalist. I'm able to pretty much do everything that's actually thrown at me. So
it's almost like
that's more valuable. So
you like specialize for a while in a couple things, and then at the end, I've done this, I've done that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe that's a better way to start out. Start out being a specialist and then just slowly branch out. So you always have something to fall back on. Then you can always target those jobs because, I'm a specialist PCB designer, or I'm a specialist, C programmer or something like that. So,
right. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. So what about LabVIEW? What if you're a specialist for LabVIEW, Dave?
Well, here you go. I tweeted this morning because I got this job alert on Seek, which is an Australian job website. It's for a job here in Sydney, I think it is. And this is through one of those ridiculous, agencies, right? It's not for the company direct. And they're saying, PhD, right? That's plastered all over the title. You need a PhD for this graduate job, right? And you think, okay, great. And, I've done my PhD. What's the job? It's a bloody it's a field applications engineer who just does LabVIEW stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
They're actually saying you require a PhD or a master's. We might let you off with a master's, but, to do freaking LabVIEW.
Right.
Graduate work. You got to be kidding me.
Dr. Jones, could you please come be our bitch as an applications engineer? You're going to show up at a job site.
How long does it take to get a PhD? A shitload of time. And, and they want you to go work as a graduate bloody application engineer, which is bad enough because application engineers are, a rung below a real design engineer. They're sort of...
that depends.
They're above a sales engineer for sure.
For sure.
Okay, don't get me wrong.
I don't want to hate on that too,
application.
but I mean, just in terms of technical prowess, I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Generally, you have to have some design experience to be an applications engineer, generally. But generally speaking, in the industry, it's looked upon as if you're not a very good design engineer, you become an applications engineer. That's sort of, one of those generic for one of the local component suppliers or something like that.
I wouldn't say it like that.
So,
I'd say it more like...
I'm being very general and,
You're being a design engineer. That's what you're being. The way I would say it is like this. I would say... if you had like a scale of like wanting to talk to people versus wanting to dig your nose into a design, right? Those two things, those are inverse relationships. So if you want to dig your nose into design 99% of the time, you're a design engineer. Or probably more likely you're, a lab rat. You're probably you're probably locked away somewhere, right? You're probably the PhD in a lab, 24 hours a day, right? So, but then as applications engineer, you have to talk to more people. You need more people skills. Mm-hmm. Sales engineer, you need tons of people skills.
Oh, yes.
But then all the technical, you don't need as much technical. You need more technical knowledge than technical expertise.
Yes, correct.
Just so anyone who's listening, we don't hate sales engineers. We just know there's different specialties.
Applications engineers for that matter. So,
right.
There's some very good applications engineers out, but that's how in the industry, they like it or not, that's how they're generically viewed. Applications engineers are sort of failed design engineers kind of thing.
That is
there's a quote.
Dave's quote, not mine.
I'll just keep digging here. I'll keep on digging.
Right. I mean, well, there's different levels of applications engineers too, because because I mean, like the ones that are at the factory, like the Jim Williams, right? Jim Williams is an application engineer.
Oh yes. Oh
Bob
no,
Peace.
they're totally different. Yeah, they work for the
right.
They're not going out on the road because a lot of applications engineering jobs are just really a glorified sales engineer.
Yeah,
they just make it sound more exciting. But you've got to be careful. So
right, just designing in people's
and they're the ones
parts.
I'm really talking about. The ones that go on the road that work for the component representatives, not the component manufacturers, the in-house guys they have, like the Bob Pease and the Jim Williams, and
right.
All those sort of guys. Oh yeah, they're freaking brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird too because like I remember in school I had never heard about any of that stuff, and I got exposed to it, early on when I started my jobs and stuff, and I was just flabbergasted because obviously people that go into those jobs, if you come out of school and you decide you want to do sales engineering, like. First off, you're probably going to make a lot more money than a design engineer. That's the other thing they didn't tell me.
That's the sad part about it. I've ranted about that before.
Oh, well, we've talked about that.
You actually get paid more for selling oscilloscopes than you get for designing them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're closer to the money. We've talked about that before in here.
Absolutely.
Like, closer to the money, you make more money. But, no one ever told me about this stuff when I was leaving school. So hopefully one or two people know about it. And if they really want money and they don't want to design stuff, they become a sales engineer. And hopefully they're friendly too.
As long as you keep listening to the amp hour to keep your hand.
Oh yeah, and your customers too. Your new customers, you should turn them onto the amp hour. We'll help you sell stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Probably not.
No, but we are for sale, aren't we?
I don't know.
For hire. No, we're not for sale. No, screw them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
So what else we got on here? We got some other stuff. That was a good rant. I like that. How about another rant?
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Speaking of money, how about money? Oh, you were going to talk.
Where's the money rant? Go for it.
Well, so people coming out of school, right? I've been advising some people that I know that are still in school. They're kind of like getting their last year because, I was friends with them when I was in school. They were kind of fresh when I was senior. And so now they're coming to me and saying, Chris, I have a couple questions about leaving school. I have questions about salary stuff. And so I started helping this friend out and doing like salary, like looking it up online, helping him out. And then I go to IEEE. He tells me that IEEE has a salary service. I didn't know about this.
Oh yeah, it's all part of your subscription.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
No, that's the thing. Okay, so I missed out where apparently at some point IEEE sends you an email and says, take this survey. If you take the survey, you get like 3 to 5 different queries of the final data. But get this. If you're not a member of IEEE, you have to pay $300 for this service. $300 to just type in, the same kind of thing you do in like salary.com or payscale.com, but it's because it's, with I'm just like, what the hell am I giving you my money for?
Exactly.
IEEE, it's like $180 a year in the US at least for like membership fees. Where the hell is that money going? And this is not the only thing they sell. This is like they're like an ebook company. Like have you ever been to like those sites where it's like this 4-page equivalent of text, and then you get down to the bottom, and it's like, and then it's like, click this link to buy the ebook for $29.99.
How to make money with ebooks 101.
Exactly.
There's actually a template. There's actually courses you can take to actually develop ebooks and websites like that to make money. These bogus ebooks.
I hate that.
I had to compete against all these with my ebook. You're
one of them,
internet dating.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because my one's freaking 200 page. Mine's like, a real printed, published book. And their one's just, as you say, it's like, that guy who ripped off my name, The Art of Internet Dating.
Yeah,
I think we've spoken about this on here before. Right? His one is like 25 pages. That's it.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's his entire ebook. And it's just shit. And it's big type text, so it's not even... there's no information in there at all.
The whole ebook industry
It's designed to make money.
Right.
I know. There's some good ones out there, but
Anyways,
there's a whole industry scamming you out there. So beware, kiddies.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, it just feels like IEEE wrote the book on how to that sales model, because where is all this money going? That's what I want to know. I sound like a political pundit when I say that, but where is the money going, honestly? Because $180 a year, I know they have staff and there's expenses and all that other stuff, but there's a lot of people in IEEE, and $180 a year, and that's not the lowest you can pay. You can pay more. So,
absolutely.
The fact that
when you join, they try and upsell you to all these magazines. They've got like a magazine for every little niche industry. There's like 50 of them or something, I think. And you can join these. They try and upsell you.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've caught crap on here before, because I've taught, like when the first time we bitched about IEEE, Cherish started talking to us, and Fluxer and all those other people, and don't get me wrong, there is some very important stuff that IEEE does, like the papers, the journals and papers, and all that
absolutely.
stuff. That
stuff. I actually like their monthly magazine. It's quite good.
Yeah. But where's the money going? I don't pay $180 a month for a magazine. So either I'm missing something, which is very possible, or they need to stop charging for the salary service, because it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Somebody wanted me to go in there once and try and do it, and you had to fill out all sorts of crap, and it wasn't relevant, and you had to, I don't know, it was just so convoluted, I just gave up.
Yeah.
It was just too hard. Chris is angry.
That is the sound of frustration. Yikes.
Oh, dear. Speaking of the upsell...
Yes.
Here's a nice segue into Eagle PCB. Right?
Yes.
Everyone uses Eagle. Everyone craps down about how Eagle is the industry standard for open source hardware.
I like it, for the record. I do like it.
It's okay, right? It's not bad considering that there is a free version, right? But if you actually... And people go, oh, it's so cheap and everything. Well, bullshit. It's not. I don't reckon it is, right? They try and... If you actually go in, we'll put up a link to what the different versions are and how much you pay for each version, right? And everyone knows the free version, right? Really good, but you're limited to 2 layers, and you're limited to what is it? 100 by 160 mil, right?
Yeah.
Board size.
Millimeters.
And,
millimeters, not
millimeters.
Mil.
Well,
right.
I often shorten it to mil. Don't get it confused
right.
with
Right. That would
mil,
be pretty
which
tiny
is
board.
a thousandth of an inch or a thou. So because if I say mil, I'll generally say thou instead of mil. Very confusing. Anyway,
that's okay.
You know what I mean.
Yes.
Because mil is in Australia is shorthand.
Right. But it makes a lot more sense.
I recognised shorthand.
If you ask me, it makes a lot
mil.
more sense than saying a mil for a thousandth of an inch. Come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, generally, if I'm talking about PC, and well, I am talking about PCBs here.
Yeah,
but you know what? If I'm talking about dimensions, it's millimetres.
Okay.
For board dimensions. So,
board dimensions.
Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, right? Everyone knows about the free version, right?
Yes.
You're limited in your size, you're limited to 2 layers, and that's fine. Right, but the other thing is, you cannot actually make money from that. Okay, so it's non-commercial. So if you want to, even if you open it, if you make your little open source hardware widget and you give it to the world and you try and sell a kit from that, I don't think technically you can. Because, and you know, or maybe even nobody else can because they're using that file to make money. So there's a thing there. So if you want to actually make money from it, you've got to cough up $50, which is okay, right? Which is, cheap as chips.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But you're still limited to, you get nothing extra for that, right? You're still limited to that small size and the 2 layers.
Yeah.
160 by 100, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then the next version up is... No, the next version up is $500. Okay, that's the next jump. And if you ask me, $500 is not that cheap.
No.
Okay.
No,
and you're still limited to 160 millimeters by 100 millimeters.
Wait,
the free version is smaller than that. The free version is smaller, but the $500 version, you're limited to size and you're limited to 4 layers.
Huh.
It's just it's crazy. So if you want to make the world's simplest LED board, okay? All it's got is a bunch of LEDs on it, and it's single-sided, and it's greater than 160 in length, then you're screwed. You've got to go upsell and buy the $1,000 package, the full $1,000 package.
Wow.
So, all these people talking about Eagle, that it's low cost. I reckon they're full of it. I think they haven't actually looked into the details. They've just used the free version and gone, oh, yeah, it's pretty cheap.
I bet I know what's really happening.
What?
I mean, there's nothing in the Gerber file. I bet a lot of people are just downloading it, or getting hacked versions or cracked versions.
Pirated version, you think? I thought it had lots of security in it. People were bitching about that for years, that even the PCB file itself had security in it. I think they might have taken that out now.
I don't know. I've always had a license through my company, but I've talked to someone about it before, and he was a college student. He was poor, He just, he just did it. So
downloaded it from torrent or something.
I guess so. Right. I don't know. It's so it wasn't that bad.
We
apparently.
do not encourage piracy.
Definitely
here on
not.
the
Oh no, I've never done that. Not with CAD software.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just not cheap. I'm sorry, people. It's either $500 or $1,000 if you want to make a simple one-sided LED with 10 LEDs on it, or even one LED, but it's 160 millimeters or greater long.
Yeah, it's too bad they don't have a better tiering system.
I think they need a better tiering system. Yeah, I think the $500 one should be unlimited, or something like that, or maybe even have a $250 dollar version. It's
maybe like Element 14 should do something with that, where they've got to have some kind of thing where they want people to I know they give away licenses sometimes, but now that Element 14 owns them, maybe they should either change the pricing structure, or
I think I think they need to come on Element 14,
or have like a promotional thing too, where students can do it. If you verify you're a student, you get a better price or something like that. I don't know, but either way, I like the software. It's too bad that it works out like that, but
it's crazy. So I think not much thought has been put into the fact that if you want a simple single-sided board, you've got to pay $1,000 if it's greater than X size. It's
what they thought about.
I hate the size limitation. That's what I hate.
Yeah, what they thought about though. They said, beyond some size, they're going to be an industry. That's what the assumption was. I guarantee it.
Right? Yeah,
and then when they get to the industry point, they say, oh well, we can charge whatever the hell we want. You know?
No, see, I think that's bullshit. I think it should be based on layer, not size. Because based on size, if you're creating a big LED strip to light up something, right? Hey, you might want that to be, 400 mil long or something. Half a meter long or something like that. Well, yeah, I think they should, the mid-range, the first tiered version should be like, 2 layers, and then the next one should be 4 layers, and then the next one should be unlimited layers. You should limit it by layers, not board size.
I like that. That's
so.
There we go.
That's simple because if
14,
you're going,
listen,
if you're getting like complex stuff, if you've got this 1,000-pin monster BGA on there, big FPGA thing, right? You need 8 layers just to route that bastard out, right? And if you're doing that, then you're in serious business, right?
You're probably not using Eagle at that point. I don't know any people using Eagle for that kind of thing.
I don't know either. Eagle is, it's a low-end package. It's low to sort of barely medium end.
I'm sure it could. It would just
I'm sure it can.
Take a lot of time.
Yeah, it definitely can, but it's not as useful as the other, tools. And if you're paying $1,000 for that, well, you may as well pay, a couple of thousand more and go for a better package. So that's, a fair bit more versatile.
Right.
Anyway, the guys from Eagle actually commented on my blog about that, and they admitted that, Eagle can't compete with the higher-end packages. It doesn't try and all that sort of stuff. So, but they claim that, they try and meet that low-end, market.
Right.
But I don't think they are with those price points.
I think if Element 14's out there listening, they're the ones that really matter there. So because they're targeting like the hobby market anyways. So you hear us, Element 14? Do you hear us?
And there's competition from RS DesignSpark. So hopefully they put some fire under their butt. And, I bet, hey, here's another rant. You go onto the RS DesignSpark website and try and find info on the PCB program. It is shit, right? Their website, their FAQ is actually like a blog type system, a blog type question and response system. It's shit.
What's the problem with that?
Oh my god!
I don't get what the problem is with the blog system. What's the blog? The blog problem, though. I don't get that.
Well, you have to go to the design. It's hard to explain. You've got to go to the DesignSpark website and look at the FAQ. Right? You go, great. They've got an FAQ. They'll tell me about the prices or something like that. And you go in there, and it's just like somebody's random question. It actually appears at the top. I don't want to know that, like how to use this feature. When you go to a company FAQ for a product, you want the most popular, answers. You most want the most popular questions and answers there that the customers ask. And it's usually a fixed HTML page, There's nothing wrong with the blog format, but as such... But it's just the information they've got in that FAQ. It's like their little mini forum of how to use if anyone has a gripe about the product. How do I use this? No, God.
So you want it more like the Stack Exchange kind of style where you can like vote up questions and stuff.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't even like that. I want to find out information about the DesignSpark PCB, right? How much it costs. Or actually, I don't think RS actually sell it. I think it's free, the company that they get it from. Yeah, it's free only. So maybe I can understand that. But I want to know that shit. You know, I was looking for that. How much does DesignSpark cost compared to Eagle? Yeah. Well, there's no info there because I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
So
I just clicked over. Anyway, I just clicked over here and I saw John Boxall on here from Tronic stuff. Yeah. He's on the front page.
Hey, John.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's been doing some stuff for him, I think. Writing some. They're all into the Arduino stuff. So.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Anyway, bloody hell, these stupid websites. I find more and more companies out there are doing identical websites to what Element 14 and DesignSpark are doing. They're like these all-in-one. They try to be everything. We've mentioned this before, and I won't go into it, but it bugs me. Anyway, stop it. People, don't, rely on some salesman to sell you, this does blogging, and this package does everything. Look, and then you install it, and it's just a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like generalist versus specialist again, right? Except for websites.
Well, yeah.
They need to be specialists. That's what we need.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, people just want a standard BBS style forum. We don't want some stupid bloody blog system you put in place.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, how about let's do something happy now?
Happy.
Happy.
All right.
I saw it mentioned a couple places.
Calm
Did
down.
you see? You see what Jerry's been doing? Jerry Ellsworth.
She's been doing lots of videos lately.
She's been doing tons.
She joined. She subscribed to my channel, and I subscribed to hers. And I think she's getting more into the YouTube thing. I think she's figured out YouTube is the place to be,
where it's at, except for the comments.
Yeah, well, except for the comments. Yeah. And I think she's got hundreds of videos on there now, but she's been doing it for ages. She's been doing those videos for years, but now I think she's taking it the video thing very seriously. So
yeah. So did you see her latest or no?
No, I haven't. So I saw it. It popped up on my thing, but I haven't actually watched it. It's like a body scanner, isn't it?
She's working on she's trying to make a body scanner like the backscatter machines in the US, which I heard you love. I heard.
Oh, I love them. Oh yeah. Yeah. Watch my latest blog.
You've done a recent video about how much you love them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Heartfelt love.
Yeah, but she's doing she's using like a Hot Wheels radar detector or something. So
right,
it's like
I don't even know what a Hot Wheels radar. I know, the Hot Wheels, the cars.
Yeah,
when I
guess
a kid,
they had a
I didn't
toy.
know you could get a radar detector for them.
Yeah, I guess that's the toy. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah,
that's
awesome, super awesome.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. So we'll put the link into that too. It's yeah.
And I noticed she's a partner. She's a YouTube partner as well. So I think she's realising maybe, as you upload more videos, you get more money and,
Cool.
Just like I am. So, yeah.
Bonus.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I don't really see her as a competitive video blog as such, because she does, mostly science stuff. She does a few electronics things, whereas she doesn't do any product reviews and stuff like that.
No,
so we really are a complementary kind of, channels, really.
Oh, yeah,
So, she's into that, kind of pointless but really fun, sciencey stuff.
No way, man. She's doing some cool stuff. I like the stuff she does. Like she does the EL stuff, like the electroluminescent.
Yeah, it's really cool, but it's not very practical. Like, you're not going to go out there and make a commercial product from it. They're great videos, and they're really excellent to watch. But
you never know, man. You never know. Never say never.
All the we talked about this. All the make your own transistor stuff. I love Jerry's stuff, but I still do. But
it's not cost effective
not practical.
Now.
It won't be cost effective in the future. It's not.
Hold on now, man. I mean, you don't know that. How do you know that? I think
experience, sonny boy, experience.
The old man tells the young man, huh?
Yes, exactly. My young Padawan learner.
Yeah. That was, a lot of stuff was expensive back in the 60s, Dave.
I know, but there's commercial industries out there that you will never be able to beat. You're not going to be able to make your own freaking transistors cheap. There's no point to it. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to make your own chip.
How about this, Dave? Somewhere 20 years ago, maybe even you were saying this, I will never be able to get plastic molded design cheap and fast and in my own house.
Nah.
Well, you can do it now, though. I mean, you can get 3D printers.
It's that's my prediction. Is that I'm sorry, but you will not be able to, viably make your own chip in your bloody backyard. It's just there's increasing orders of complexity which go into it.
That's it. I'm going to go make a kit. I'm going to go make a machine that just pops out a wafer.
Come on, people. I've said this before. Go and prove me wrong. If you think I'm full of shit, go and prove me wrong. Please. I'd love it. I love to be proven wrong. I really do. I always do. I stand to be corrected in everything I say. And I'll happily admit that congratulations, you're the smartest guy in the world because you're successfully making viable chips in your backyard.
I think it's gonna be possible someday. I think it's
right.
And not cost effective for volume stuff because volume will be different. But I think for like rapid circuit prototyping kind of stuff, if you could etch out a wafer, right?
Yeah.
Say that you had some super fine kind of etching capability to much like how you can cut a board. If you could do that on a wafer and then create channels in silicon. and then electrons would flow down the channels, and whatever else you need to do for that, right? Because there's a lot more to it than that. But I could see that happening, and then you have basically a very small integrated circuit that you could use in a design.
Well, that's great, but what's wrong with designing stuff using off-the-shelf chips from the countless companies out there who will always do it 1,000 or 1,000,000 times better than you will? I mean, it's just, there are so many, the market is so flooded with usable components these days compared to 20 years ago that it's even now more pointless than ever to try and do your own, unless you've got some very specific niche. It's just, no, I
disagree.
No, and with
right
the advent
now,
of
yes.
FPGAs and stuff like that, FPGAs are going to get better, and now they've got analog FPGAs with analog in there and all that sort of shit. That's going to get better and better commercially, and there's going to be less and less need for you to even want to do it yourself. It's just, no.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
No.
All right.
There's the battle for today.
All right. Good. Yeah. We'll see. All right.
People love this stuff.
Once the Amp Hour 1000 comes out, we'll check in then, right? Yeah.
No, all right. Nah.
Once you're,
I'm a realist. Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love the contest.
You put me in a bad mood now. You put me in a bad mood.
Excellent. We'll get some more anger out of you. Anger is good.
Yeah. So what about
passion? It's all about passion. It's not anger. It's passion.
We were talking about press releases a while back, or last week, offline, and you mentioned that they used to do press releases when people changed jobs.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Back when I was a boy. They had, you got your monthly magazine, the industry magazines, which they still have, they're still out there. They were normally free. They're still free as well. And, that's how you kept up with the industry, because there was no internet, right? So that's how you kept up, what's new in the world of electronics, And they would have in there, as, part of the news, it was basically a magazine full of news stories and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they would have, Joe Bloggs has joined, such and such local company. He's their new design engineer or whatever. So they would actually announce new employees and stuff like that. Usually the magazines wouldn't actively go out and find that info. Usually it'd be sent in by the company, and the company would, send a little press thing to the mag saying, oh yeah, Joe Bloggs has joined us, and then they'd just, it'd wind up in the issue.
That's weird. I mean, like,
so,
when did you stop seeing that? I've never seen it.
I don't pay too much attention. I still get one of the free magazines here, and I don't pay too much attention, but I don't remember seeing that info for a long time. So, I don't know, maybe someone out there can tell us. I don't know off the top of my head if they've stopped doing that. I don't think they have.
I've never seen it.
Maybe not at the local level. Maybe at, somebody's joined Intel or, as the head of R&D or something like that. That still makes the news. But, but back in the day, it was, just a regular engineer would get announced in the local mag.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, now it happens on LinkedIn, I guess. I mean, we have that now.
I guess, it's,
but it has to be
superfluous,
people
I guess, because... No.
Sort of know.
No idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, with Jerry's Hot Wheels scanner, I want to go back to that. How does that work? How does the radar detector work?
How does a radar detector work?
No, how does the one she uses, this little Hot Wheels radar detector?
I thought I saw something about Doppler effect kind of stuff, but I know that's not normally how radar detectors work. I think radar detectors...
Oh, there's many different methods, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so it's probably just used maybe... Because I assume like it's a little toy thing, right? And it's not going to be dangerous, so it's not going to be...
definitely low power.
Pumping out tens of watts of RF energy or something. No,
but she did say it was 10 gigahertz, which is... pretty
interesting.
High frequency. Right. I mean, that's impressive, so... I can't
and
imagine ever buying that for...
you can buy it for $10 or something. I guess. I don't know, because it's a toy designed for Hot Wheels cars, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's super cheap.
I can't imagine it being that much, because I imagine being a parent and looking at my kid and being like, You want to do what? You want to measure how fast a car is going down a track? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll pay $20 for a toy that does that, but I'm not going to pay $200.
I'm not paying for a 10 gigahertz, radar detector. Like, what? Really? I don't care if you want to turn it into a body scanner. Now, if I was going to do it, then maybe I'd buy it for myself. But I mean, come on.
Right. Oh, dearity.
Yeah.
Actually, with back to Jerry, I did read on one of her. No, I watched a live thing. Something popped up on the tweet. She was on somebody's show, and I think, and I watched it live, and I think it was there, or maybe anyway, it was somewhere else. And she was talking about how she tried hundreds of times to get one of her science experiment things to work. People think, oh yeah, she just does this and it works, but apparently she. No. Puts a ton of work into this stuff, and she tries hundreds of times to. Yeah. They were her words, I think. So that's. Geez, I wish I had that much time to, experiment with something hundreds of times to get it working. Wow.
That is a tenacious attitude.
That's real passion. I mean, she is really passionate about what she does, and she spends. I don't know. She must spend every waking hour. Working on her science stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, another speaking of science stuff, I saw a new project that just came out on for the Chronos watch. Have you seen that?
Yes, I've actually got one. I meant to do a review of it. Yeah, it's not that great. I have the screen on it. Shit. The screen on it's one of the worst screens I've ever seen on a watch. It uses like an inverse LCD, so instead of having the black segments on the white background, it's got the black background with the white segments.
Ooh, that
stinks. It's awful looking.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know.
I love the concept when it came out. I thought it was
it's cool.
Coolest idea for a dev kit ever. But then I saw the screen. I didn't like how the screen was fixed. Segments basically, and then it has enunciators and everything.
Dot matrix. Yeah.
Right. But there's I think it's a company, Toscanini Interfacing. I think that's how you say it. But
never heard of them.
Basically, they're using the accelerometer in there as a gesture-based controller for a computer or anything really. It's through a MIDI interface.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's not. Oh well, somebody else has done that. I think it was on Hacked Gadgets or Hackaday or something like that. Somebody's done similar. Kind of gesture.
Well, this is like a company. I think this is like they're trying to actually take this like big time.
It's a full-on product, is it?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a
Yeah, I'll post a link to it, but it's I think they're like trying to take it big time. But I really like the trend that's coming out with that, like the whole like human interface, because you think about like our current interface to computers, like a mouse and keyboard. I
know. It's how long have we been flogging that dead horse?
Yeah. And I mean, all the stuff that's out there, like even like the iPad and how you can like touch on a keyboard, or text to speech is still kind of, or speech to text, I guess that's still pretty weak. There's I like the Kinect. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. That's got a long way to go to do.
It does.
But you can do some useful apps at the moment. But I think there's a lot of potential with that. Yeah. In the future. So
I really like the Minority Report kind of like where you like grab and can stretch stuff. That's I think where the real power is. If you have multi touch control, that's kind of cool stuff. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think there's still more room in there. So I don't know. I thought about some ideas before, but I'm not allowed to talk about those because I haven't done them yet.
Right. Well, I've got some ideas too. Every time I lay out a board, I sit there, and because I come from the old, pre-mouse days, so I still use a lot of all the hotkeys, the original, hotkeys to drive my CAD program, and I'm using my mouse, and I'm using my 3D Space Navigator thing to do my 3D rotation and stuff like that. And I'm going, well, my hands are going everywhere. I'm doing all this thing. I'm getting RSI from doing the keys, and I think there's got to be a better way to lay out the board. If I had some huge table size touchscreen, I could draw a track there. That's it. I just put my finger on and I draw where I want the track to go, and I drag components around, and there's got to be a future there. Yeah, surely there has to be.
Well, there's that Microsoft table too. Did you see that? That was like a year or two ago.
I've seen the Microsoft table, and that was quite a few years ago now, wasn't it? That was very revolutionary when it. Now it's like just slow. Everyone's doing that.
It was. I've seen one, and they're so slow. It's it's a lot. It takes a lot to do it. I mean, nothing against it. It takes a lot of processing to do that stuff. But man, that's
that'll
crazy.
Be taken care of by Moore's law, so no problem.
Yeah, just keep waiting. Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. I reckon there's a huge future there for someone who cracks. If somebody can come up with a user interface plug-in for one of the major CAD packages that
that'd be
allows
nice.
you to do, there's a $10 million business there. I think anyway. So, yeah.
What do you know about CAD, Dave? Jeez.
No, not much.
Did you see the article I posted about the ultrasound? I saw this on Ray Kurzweil's site. Basically, they have like a wand now, and that's all it is anymore. It's just a wand, and then it plugs into an iPhone.
Yeah.
And so it's brilliant. I mean, like you think about like third world countries, all the stuff you can do with ultrasound stuff. And like medical devices are going the same direction. All these formerly monstrous things are getting packed down into suitcases and then into backpacks and then smaller and smaller and smaller. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm checking out that now. Yeah, it literally is just a wand and an iPhone.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
And the goop. You need the goop too, apparently, for some of that stuff. But
well, of course, yes. The goop is the goop is the thing where they make their money, right? They make their money on the goop.
Yeah,
so they sell these special magical gunk.
Yeah,
it's called gunk in Australia. Is it goop in the US?
It's goop for me. I don't know.
Goop. Okay. Well, yeah, gunk is a common term for that here. Gunk is just just a gunk of stuff. A big gloop of material or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh dear, that's where they make their money.
Do you have any experience with medical stuff? I've never really.
No, I don't. No, afraid not.
I mean, it's a big industry, right? But it's
a huge industry, especially here in Australia. We do a lot of medical electronics here in Australia.
Oh, yeah?
There's one just around the corner.
Oh yeah.
From my home here, which is huge.
Yeah, I know. Philips is out here. I mean, that's one of the big ones. But there's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania has a lot of medical companies too. I know.
Yeah, we also have a lot that go under too. We were doing an artificial heart here, and that one went under.
Really?
So yeah, which was quite sad. So yeah, but there's lots of medical device. If you're studying, you're thinking about getting into medical electronics, there's a good specialty there, but they are heavily red tape oriented. So don't expect to, be producing a cool new product every week. No.
Right. You don't get to just punch out the code in a night. You have to do code reviews and pair programming and everything.
The,
all the
regulatory stuff is just insane on that. So it can be not fun at all. So don't expect a very glamorous career in the medical electronics industry. It can be quite mind-numbing.
Yeah,
I know. You can be proud that I'm developing an artificial heart or a new electronic eye or something like that, which is really cool. But just be wary of the
man. Yeah, implant stuff is awesome. I talked about that, I think, when I went to the ESC Boston, right? The keynote speaker there that had the leg implants. Did I talk about that?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that on the show, I think.
Okay, yeah. I mean, just that stuff it's amazing. But I mean, at the same time, it's because of the regulation, and even you think about people doing it, and people are doing it in the garage kind of stuff. Like they're working on medical devices that'll help people, but do you test it out on yourself or?
I know. What do? You
don't just get to flip a switch. I mean, you gotta be the test subject too, or someone's got to be.
There's all this old medical gear on the auction site. Like there's an online auction site here in Australia, and I saw this ultrasound, this huge big ultrasound machine. It was going for like $50.
Really?
And I'm going, God, I wish I had a huge, 200-foot long shed, and I can just go to the auction houses and just buy all this shit because they're just cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I bet you get some sweet parts out of there too.
These things away. Yeah. And I think I'm pretty sure that's where Jerry gets a lot of her stuff. She's got all these, vapor deposition machines and electron microscopes and, stuff like that she does her site. I'm pretty sure she just gets them all at auction for, almost free.
Yeah, pennies on the dollar.
So some of the stuff you can get out there is just amazing. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Might have to look that up for a future show. The different, because you had that Apex video, but that was kind of more junk. I mean, not junk, but
that's more junk. Whereas the auction houses are more, surplus. Like
working,
a company's gone under, like that artificial heart company. They went under. All their gear went on the website, went on the online auction website, and you could bid on it. And it was like all this, $100,000 bit of gear for $100. It's great.
Wow.
But it's so niche that you go, what am I going to do with it? I don't know, but it's cool. It's only $100, and it's huge, and it takes 50 megawatts or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of power, did you see the story about Israel? I haven't. Have a look at it now. Do tell. So Israel, like a lot of people are investing in clean tech kind of stuff. Like China's obviously pumping the most money.
It's
yeah.
Anyone who isn't is a fool, really,
right,
and everyone knows that. So even the US is.
Yeah, and the US is too.
Interesting stat: the US is the biggest producer of wind energy, apparently.
Really?
In the world. Yeah, who knew? But because they use so darn much, they're the worst polluter of... Anyway, let's not go there.
Not it. Yeah, but Israel's doing it. But the interesting thing about it is the fact that why they said they're doing it. And so, they hadn't invested... they have a lot of, chip stuff out there. There's a lot of, semiconductor stuff out there.
The Israeli electronics industry is huge.
Yeah, and which is great. But apparently they've never touched alternative energy stuff.
Right.
And now they're looking at it, and it's like, and they were talking, again on NPR, I'm an NPR junkie, but they were talking about it today, and why do they do it? Because as soon as people get off oil, then all of their neighbors don't have money anymore. And and so it's all political. It's crazy. It's all, political, that makes people pissed, but that's awesome. What else could we do that would, make stupid politicians, think that, give money to the electronics industry? I don't care what it is. I don't care what your political intent is. Well, maybe not military stuff. I don't like military research. I know it's important, but that's a great reason right there. Israel doesn't want Iran to have as much oil money, and so they invested in clean tech. That's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Renewable energy is a new form of politics, really. It's a new form of politics, and it's so, you can do so much with it politically that, all these companies are clambering over themselves to join the clean energy bandwagon. And it's great. I don't care what excuse you're using to to do it, to pour money into it. Just pour money into it.
Dump the money in there. It's great.
I know, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the photo of this thing. What the hell? Look at the photo. It's weird.
Of what?
The tower, this Israel hybrid, what is it? A hybrid solarized gas turbine power station. I'm on the link that you put in, and it's just it looks like some alien thing growing out of the ground or something.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of deserts out there, so they're doing a lot of solar thermal stuff. So with the mirrors, and then they heat the tower.
Oh,
and that drives.
Okay. The mirrors down the bottom. That's the solar furnace. That's the solar reflector thing. Yeah, with the plasma. Usually they do molten salt or something like that to store the energy in.
Awesome.
Which is a great, awesome technology. And,
and we've talked about it on here before. It's just you don't realize the scale. I mean, not you, but I don't realize the scale of how much it takes to. We start cranking kilowatts, and man, you need some beefy stuff out there. Like molten salt, who uses that?
I know, but that's all the new rage, because everyone, when renewable energy first came out, all the big oil companies mostly, all the critics started saying, well, yeah, but you can't store it. It's, how do you store it? It's not base load and all that sort of shit. And they just went, well, we're going to store it in molten salt. And that's what they're doing now. So apparently you can, so sunlight heats it during the day and it stores it all, and extract it back out at night. And it's, 100% base load compatible energy system, which is, it's great.
Yeah.
There was a study, I don't know, I can probably link to it. There's a study that was done here by this independent company of scientists. They got together a whole bunch of scientists and engineers, and they worked out how to make Australia 100% renewable energy by 2020. And all it costs is $40 billion a year. Which, well, there's a lot, but it's doable. You know, it's doable using mainly, the combination, but the molten salt solar focus thing, and the and wind and wave and all the combinations of them. Yeah,
man, I would love to see that
renewable.
kind of.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
I know, and it just drives so much other stuff too. Like it drives. Like you think about even just the inverters you need from to go from a so say you have an actual solar cell, the inverters you need are ridiculous. And so that drives all the electronic stuff that helps us get cheaper MOSFETs and everything else. It's great.
It's fantastic. I know. I don't care what it takes to go to the planet to be 100% renewable energy, but that's one of my dreams, is to see that in my lifetime. I probably don't think we will, but it'd be awesome. I don't know though. It's it said 5 years ago, I said there's no hope in hell that we'll ever see that, but in the last 5 years, it's just gone exponentially up. In terms of, the amount of money poured in, the focus from the politics and everything else. And the trend has changed literally within, half a decade.
Yeah. Thank you, expensive oil. We love you. Yeah. Thank you, Iran, for being crazy. We love you.
And thank you, politicians, for
being idiots.
Being idiot politicians. And, and just following where the latest
and dump that money.
Is.
Come on, dump it in.
Yes, please.
All right. I think we're running out of time.
I think we are. I think we're almost done. I think we've got about a minute left.
Before we go, I wanted to mention I put it up on the EEV blog forum about the workplace of the week, and a lot of people mentioned, hey, I can't have a camera at work. So if you have a workbench and you want to be features workbench of the week, we haven't had any submissions yet, but workbench of the week is just as acceptable because that is a place that you work. So.
And you can win a free shout-out on the Amp Hour.
Yes, free shout-out. and we don't mind messy benches either, so it's all cool.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Right.
In fact, even better. If it's a complete, absolute shambles like a Bob Pease kind of mess, then, that's what we want to see.
And double
Real
points
hardcore.
if you're in the picture. We like when people are,
Yep, absolutely. We don't just want to see a bench. Yeah, we want you there with a thumbs up or, I don't know, mooniness or something. I don't care. As long as you're No, maybe not that far.
Yeah.
But, yep.
All right.
Because the Amp Hour is PG rated. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Visually,
bullshit it is.
not auditorially.
Auditorially,
auditorially, I don't think that's a word.
I don't think it is, but it sounds bloody good, doesn't it? Auditorially. Yeah, I think. Yep, that's now a valid word. Okay,
all right.
Done. Yep.
Count it.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
See you next week.